And with that, we want to welcome you to the 8th episode of the Case Closed podcast. I'm your host, Professor C. We have a lot to talk about today, but first I'd like to address some comments that were made to me for my decision to end the podcast at episode 12. This decision was made by me because I have put this message out here for you guys to hear. I've given you, by the time we get to episode 12, I will have given you a complete background on the show, and I feel confident that my show will provide more information than anybody else on what is contained within the Case Closed series, episodes 1 to 130 here in the United States. I'm not here to bang away for, 30 or 40 episodes of just, going over the same stuff. I'm not. I've been doing podcast shows for a long time. This is not my first rodeo, and I want to be professional about it. And that's why I made the decision that we will stop at episode 12. That does not mean that our cause stops at episode 12. We still want to continue to bring on people, supporters, partners. That is something I really want. I still want to add partners on to what we are doing because I have put out 12 episodes. People can keep showing those 12 episodes on their channels and spreading the word about us. I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing, but I think the community has, of course, people will turn on you when you mostly expect. I mostly expected people to turn on me for this decision, so it's okay. I can deal with it. I'm a man about it, but I got a life outside of this, and I know some people don't, so you can sit there, bitch and moan all you want. It's ending at episode 12, but I'm not, walking away from the cause of Case Closed itself. But we're going to go ahead now and actually start the show I was planning on doing and talk about Case Closed Season 3 and the contents that it contains. Opening, like I said, with Case Closed Season 3, we have in here contained 27 episodes on 4 discs. The box art is actually really good. You need to, before you buy this DVD, you need to go watch the unboxing on Full Metal X 117's channel. If you want to get to his channel, look in the description on the Save Case Closed channel, our channel, and you will find him. And he has an unboxing for this, and he does a fantastic job on those. We had him on episode 7, by the way, if you have not seen that. Now, Season 3 is extremely important for a couple of reasons. The biggest one I think that most people will agree with is it introduces Phantom Thief Kid, aka Kaito Kid. Huge character. I can't even put into words how big this character is to the series. Actually has a spin-off series of his own in Japan. Extremely popular. Several of the Case Closed / Detective Conan movies are based around him. And those episodes are episodes 78 and 79, Phantom Thief 1412, Part 1 and Part 2 on Disc 4. So if you pick this up, I would actually skip all the way to Disc 4, see those before you go back and watch the rest of it. Some notable ones that are very, very interesting. Quite a bit, actually. That maybe not as many people will talk about because I think the Phantom Thief episodes kind of overshadow a lot of what is in here. You get your first 3-part episode series with the Night Baron Mystery Murder. Has a Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 from episode 70 to 72. The Miss Goblin Murders, Part 1 and Part 2 on Disc 1. Very interesting. Weapon of Choice. You really start to see some more unique murders and how deep these people really go, and this is what makes Gosho and all the writing. It's just fantastic. You to have so many murders done in so many different ways. I mean, this is the genius of this show, and this is why I'm very passionate about it. And I really think people need to get into this because some of these things are just out of this world. You just wouldn't believe, some of these murders and how long these people take to formulate it. And if you'll watch the series, sometimes you notice they just kind of think of it on the fly of their head if they're sitting there doing a confession after they've been caught by, Conan or Richard. They're just spilling their guts, and sometimes they just kind of, happen upon the idea. It's just kind of, it's very interesting. So check out those. Some things on Disc 2 to check out. At the end of Disc 1, there's a episode 59 and 60 called Footsteps of the Hero. It's where Harley Hartwell pretty much figures out that Little Conan is actually Jimmy Kudo. Very, very good episode there. So those are really the notable things we want to talk about with season 3. That's really what's in there and on those discs, and definitely check that out. We after this is kind of when things had stopped for a while. This goes up from 53 to 79. Those are the episode counts that are in here. And it was after season 3 that we really sat around for, as a community and people that really enjoy watching Case Closed, sat around for, well, season 4 didn't even get released till 2009. I think a lot of the fans moved on to other things, kind of came back and saw this, and I think when a lot of us heard about season 4 coming out, we really got excited and probably went back and started watching from 1 to 79 or 1 to 82 if you own all the singles DVDs, which I know a lot of people did not buy those. So obviously these episodes, especially seasons 1 through 3, these are the episodes that people have been watching from 2004 to now. I mean, these episodes, there are some gems in here that people, as fans, like watch it on Adult Swim from 1 to 42, and then you have the season 3. All of season 3 was released on DVD first, as I mentioned in the first podcast, before 1 through 42 came out on DVD. 1 through 42 aired on Adult Swim, but did not get their own DVDs till after episodes 53 to 82 were released. And then there was a big stoppage after they got episodes 1 through 42 released on DVD. And fans were mostly sitting around. Fans like me were waiting for 2 years just for season 4 and season 5 to get out the door to us. Obviously, it's one of the things that I think has damaged this series in so many ways. I think with fans, too. I think it's put off some fans. But I think Funimation showed the dedication that they had. They did not, in all fairness, I don't believe they had to put seasons 4 and 5 out there. But they did. For us and the work that they put into it, I think the voice actors really deserved for those seasons to come out because they worked extremely hard to do that. And some of it is just genius. Some of the voice acting is genius. You cannot replace, Bruce Elliott as Richard Moore. You cannot replace Jerry Jewell as Jimmy Kudo. Some people like that you just cannot replace. And to see them get more episodes at that time was just genius to me. And I think if we can push our efforts, we can see that again with the series. But it comes down to buying this stuff up. Right Stuff has season 3 right now for around $20 or less. I looked on there a couple days ago. I did not see one of the seasons over $20. They're mostly $17.99. Amazon, I think, did go back up. I think this thing is sitting at about $22 on Amazon. I say buy from both because they're both really credited sites. Of course, rightstuff.com is where you can go, and then in the search box type in Case Closed. Amazon, obviously, go in, type Case Closed. You'll find all of the seasons will come up, as well as the movies. The movies are outstanding pieces of work. Do want to take some time and acknowledge our partners here. We do have the biggest right now for us, and one that I'm so glad we have on board, All Kids Out of the Pool. The great work that they do, dedicated to the classic Adult Swim, which, as most of you know, includes Case Closed, was part of that classic Adult Swim. Also, Lupin the Third was in there too. I remember watching Adult Swim, it'd be like Lupin the Third, and then we'd get on there and, there'd be Case Closed. So, it's a really good place. Go to allkidsoutofthepool.com. Obviously, we have so many partners with us. We have Website Gamers, who carries our podcast. We really appreciate those and the thousands of views that we get. And thousands of people that listen just from him. I want to thank all of you that are tuning in from his channel. It means a lot, and thank you for the support. I really appreciate it, and all the likes and the comments. Very nice. We have so many partners through Facebook. Go to our Facebook page at Save Case Closed. Our Twitter account, I don't update it as much, so maybe you might not want to hit it up there. We also have our website, savecaseclosed.webs.com. So hit us up there. You can always send a message to me to read on the show. Comments and all that are welcome. Just inbox me, or leave a comment on the channel that you want to be read on the air. Just include on the comment, if you leave it on the channel, include podcast comment, and then leave the message on the channel, and I will read it. I'll go back down and find it and read it. Thank you all for listening to the show. See you next time on the Case Closed podcast.